Well, tonight's the night.
It's not we've been waiting 3 years for.
We just spent the whole day marathoning the whole Star Wars Blu-ray set.
Took us, we started at about
9 a.m.
A little later than that, probably closer to 9:30, maybe closer to 9:45, but we literally just finished Return of the Jedi about 10-15 minutes ago, and now we are on our way to the Regal Majestic in Silver Spring, Maryland for a 1:30
a.m. showing. We couldn't get any sooner than that.
IMAX 3D showing as well.
Yes.
So we know that this is one
I
of those.
just hope I can stay awake through the whole thing.
Trust me, I don't think that's going to be a problem once that sound system kicks in. It's it's just been fantastic. We've been counting the days down. This is the end result. I mean, we've been waiting for this ever since we heard the news in October of
2012
about the sale and the announcement that they were going to continue making Star Wars movies. And here we are now. We are literally here now. We're off to see it. I mean, it's finally here, and I'm seeing reactions already on Facebook. I can say a great majority of them overwhelmingly positive response to this movie, and that only makes me more excited for this. I think that we're in for a treat.
Absolutely. I hope it lives up to the hype.
Yeah. Sorry about the lighting, but this is about as good as we can get.
It's dark out. What do you want?
We all can't be the cinema snob when he does his midnight release videos. Hey, Brad, if you're watching this.
Somehow I doubt that.
Oh, hey, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't need our plug, but at the same time, we respect the guy. So we're just a short trip up the road. So it was actually kind of close to it. I had to make sure I got my car fixed before that. My brakes were pretty close to, not working, and I was just like, no way I'm going to be driving up to Silver Spring with the brakes like this.
That was a nightmare to get fixed.
Less said about that, the better. This is a happy time, all right? This is a happy time. I'm not going to bring up any of that negativity.
Happy joy.
All right, we're finally about to get the light, and then we'll pick up the Beltway.
And hey, you can see my eyes this time around.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but hey, you know what? It's kind of a necessity, I think. I mean, I'm sorry, we all can't wear our sunglasses at night.
I mean, they're just for show anyway, but...
Yeah, that's part of your costume, so what the heck. But yeah, we're doing this, and as for afterwards, I don't know what we have planned. I mean, we are definitely not going to be doing like a sit down one of these. We'll probably do a sit down vlog for the Force Awakens. Probably. Maybe closer to Christmas.
Maybe. I mean, we can do something short, but...
Well, I mean, it would still be something for us to do. And I think that, honestly, given all of the Star Wars stuff that we've... and what are you looking at, I wonder?
I'm just adjusting the light.
Gotcha. Given all of the Star Wars posts that we have made, I mean, we've sort of made any kind of reputation that we have, however minimal of it, in basically being Star Wars fans and being saga fans, not prequel fans, not original trilogy fans. We're saga fans.
Now I want to make clear, because I've gotten some beef on this. If you don't like the prequels, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But don't go around saying it's absolute fact that they sucked and you're a loser if you like them and blah blah blah. That's not cool.
No,
that's not cool.
That's age gating, if nothing else. I mean, it's something that I look at and it's just like, why do you want to try to push a new generation away? And I think that that's something that the previous generation, I have to at least give credit that despite the previous generation's efforts, this generation, our generation, who grew up with episodes 1 through 3, who grew up with the Clone Wars, who grew up with...
I'm still an 80s generation guy,
well,
so...
still, I mean, I'm more the one that bridges the gap in between Generation X and in between Generation X and Millennials, pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty much right on that edge. it's really hard to. It's just really hard to say. It's just really hard to say. But I mean, even despite all of that, you know, with everything good Star Wars that has come out in. Even with the release of the main movies, you know, we're still fans, and I think that's the great thing about this is that we're all still fans. No one thinks that we're any less of fans. You know, people may think we're less fans because we grew up in that generation, but you know what? We don't care, and I think that's a great thing. I mean, and I hate to think that a lot of these same fans who, you know, came in and thought of that, you know, maybe they've been bullied essentially to say that the prequels suck, when in reality they actually think that the prequels are okay films. I mean, I certainly believe that.
I mean, we can't speak for them, so...
We can't speak, and again, everything that I'm saying is pure conjecture.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, I mean, I hope it lives up. I mean, and I hope it gels well as a transition from Return of the Jedi, and, you know, I hope it sort of has a similar kind of flavor, sort of visual flavor as the prequels. And what I mean by that is not like all CG. First of all, it wasn't all CG. Like there's this one shot in one of the TV ads where like they're flying towards a planet in ships. And that looked like something out of the prequels. I mean, that looked CG.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy all this. Oh, we're all practical effects this time around.
Look, I mean, and look, we've kind of been, you know, felt a little bit iffy because of how Disney has selected really to try to push towards the whole practical, that really felt like that it was trying to recapture the older audience. And you know something, there's at least a lot of business sense that you can make to that, but it also makes those of us that actually didn't mind the CG as much really kind of made us feel pretty damn awkward.
Yeah.
But I think that at the end of the day, I think that, you know, if everything that we've been hearing about this, if this movie truly is the new instant classic that I think most people think that this is, that they think that this is, I think that we're in for a treat tonight, and however many times we decide to go to see the movie afterwards.
Oh man,
because, you know,
I might break my wallet.
You know what? I don't care if this movie is as good. I want to see it as many times as I want, because honestly, this is this is a real great time. I mean, no one thought. You know, I watched, when we watched Revenge of the Sith earlier today, you know, the thought was crossing through my head, this was it 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, people thought that this movie was going to be it, that was the end of the saga.
And ending on that sunset, it was like the perfect closure.
I came, literally, that final sequence, those final 5 minutes, they destroy me. I can barely get through those, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Every single time since the very first time I saw that in the theaters, it absolutely just hits me every single time, and I try to keep it together, and I was lucky to keep it somewhat together in this one.
But yeah, I guess we'll see how it turns out.
Yep.
So, see you in a few, I guess.
The dark side. A Jedi. They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you. Just let it in.
And welcome back.
Well, we've seen it.
We have seen it.
It's 4:15 in the morning, and we're just pulling out of the movie theater right now. We've just finished watching The Force Awakens. Welcome back.
So some of your thoughts without spoilers.
No spoilers. All right, this is a spoiler-free zone right here, and I will just say honestly, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a great welcome back. I think that regardless of who's going to be directing this, I think that the franchise is in good hands with the folks at Disney. I think that JJ did a really good job in this movie. I think that he had probably the most amount of pressure you could possibly put on someone in this film, and I think he delivered on this. I think that this was not only a fun movie, lots of drama, and some really, really good action set pieces in this movie. And I think if this is the level of quality that we're going to get for Star Wars movies going forward, I do think that, you know what, there's reason to be excited with them deciding to make more of these. There may come a time where it may get oversaturated, but right now, you know what, let's bask in this, folks. Star Wars is back, and the Force has not only awoken, it is strong with this movie.
I enjoyed it. I think I need to watch it a few more times to truly soak it in and evaluate it.
Same here. I definitely can agree with you there. I think that's the same for it. I think that just my first impression is that, yeah, this is a good movie. I mean, you're probably going to go see it one way or another, regardless of what, we two think of it. But I think that the bottom line here is that you want our impressions. First impressions are good. Now we just need to go see it a few more times to see if it really holds up, if maybe this really is as good as some people are saying. Some people saying that it's the best movie since it's the best Star Wars movie in over 30 years, and I don't think that's necessarily a dig at the that can be construed as a dig at the prequels, but I also think that there can be some argument made, I think, right away that this movie definitely was better than the prequels.
There were a couple of things that bugged me in it, though. I think it winked a little too much that this is Star. Like, no spoilers, but there's a moment where you see the hollow chess game from the original film, and Han drops a snarky thing like, "Should we put them in a trash compactor?" And I'm sort of like, yeah, we get it. It's Star Wars.
Well, I mean, and I think that's something that's just going to be exclusive to this movie.
Even some of the plot points sort of borrow.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you on that. Some of the plot points do borrow, but at the same time, Star Wars ring theory. There is kind of that where the movies are inextricably linked, so you have to keep that into consideration. But I honestly do think that the winking at the camera for when it comes to the when it comes to the references and everything like that, I think that that's just something that's going to be exclusive to this movie. I think that when we reconvene for Rogue One and when we reconvene for Episode 8, whenever that's gonna be coming out, I think that we're gonna be in good shape. They're not gonna do nearly as many winks to the camera as going forward. I think that this was purely just a couple of winks here, a few winks here and there, but I don't think this is going to be part of Star Wars going forward.
One thing that I found sort of laughably ludicrous, again, no spoilers, but the way they meet up with Han was one of the biggest fucking coincidences I've ever seen in a movie.
I don't think I can disagree with you there. I mean, I think that we all kind of expect. I think, no spoilers, but once you get to the certain point, it's just going to be like, hey, okay, that he's going to be showing up. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell, honestly. I didn't have so much of a problem with it myself.
But the one thing that really pissed me off, and I knew this was coming.
Oh boy, here we go.
Was, as Rebel Force Radio calls him, Simon fricking Peg. I immediately recognized his character just from the way it was constructed, and in that clip that we saw of him in the behind-the-scenes thing.
The Comic-Con
The Comic-Con. I immediately recognized it, and the thing that really just makes me want to punch him in the face is that there's a scene where they steal the Falcon from him. He's a junk dealer, and he goes, "Hey, that's mine!" You just know he got on his hands and knees and begged for this moment where he wants to call the Falcon his.
I got nothing to say to that.
Peg,
you
are a fan brat.
No, I mean, no, he is. I think, you know what? You love this franchise, or at least parts of it. You know what? That's fine. I've never taken issue with the fact that, you know, you call yourself a fan, because, you know what? We're fans. How you go about being a fan is probably what has pissed the two of us off the most when it comes to how you have gone about dealing with it, and dealing with people that might, that may gasp, not share the same opinions as you do. I think that's just where we differ on that. But you know what? I'm just like, that's a small part of the movie, and it's. To be completely honest, that's such a small and insignificant part of the movie. It's just like, whatever. You know what? You say it right there. You know what? We didn't see him in the Falcon. We didn't see him flying the Falcon. It was just, it's just a line in there that, he could say just to be cute. And that's just about it. So, you know what? Whatever. You got that. You get that just this one time, Simon. Let you have it. You know what? Okay, you're done. You know what? Why don't you go double your efforts to see if you can somehow salvage the Star Trek series?
Oh God.
I mean, look, if nothing else, it'll give you something to really put your focus on, so that maybe you can actually, work hard and not continue to disparage other fans for liking things you don't like.
The effects were good. I think it was a good blend of practical and CG. Yes, there was CG in there.
There was plenty of CG, and I honestly think that the whole thing about that, the whole criticism of the CG that was utilized in the prequel trilogy, I think that just has, again, I think that has more to do with the time of the technology. How good the technology is at the time. Where, I mean, I think that if George could have done the prequels, I think in this era, say post Avengers, post Fury Road, I don't think that the effects would probably stick out as much. I think the only reason the effects stick out as much is because it's in that period of time where people were still...
Where he's trying to pioneer something.
Exactly. They're trying to pioneer the new technology. And I honestly think that that half the reason a lot of the movies that look good today are because George basically, at least... he was the guinea pig, yes, but at the very least, he was the one who basically said, hey, this is what you can do with these tools. I mean, okay, he wasn't perfect, and then, other people came by later, but you know what? Someone has to be the guinea pig for technology. Mm-hmm. That's just the bottom line.
And let's try to get this through as fast as we can, because I'm almost at my place. Let's talk about the characters a bit. Without spoilers.
Yes. I mean, Rey, plenty awesome.
She's a bit standoffish at first, but, she's kind of supposed to be.
We kind of, and you know what, everything that you pretty much see her in those trailers, yeah, she's the scavenger, all right? I mean, so, you know what, she's
still no last name.
Yeah, exactly, still no last name. That should, and... should we even have said that, to be completely honest?
That's not a spoiler. I mean, because we haven't been given a last name. The fact that we don't have a last name isn't any kind of reveal.
Yeah, good point. Okay, but yeah, definitely, yeah. Rey, I really think that she's the one character I think that everyone's gonna come away really in love with afterwards, and I think that Miss Daisy Ridley, she better be ready for her career to just take off on a rocket ship.
Finn was great.
Yes, John Boyega, I think he sold that to hell, and I think he was terrific.
And the way the stormtroopers are with the First Order, it's actually very reminiscent of the Jedi Order of the prequels.
Yeah, you're right about that. It is
with a little bit of the clones mixed in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was a small little reference to, say, someone wanting to create a clone army.
They name dropped that, yeah.
So I don't think that it's necessarily out of the realm of possibility that we couldn't see clones potentially again, going forward, which is a cool thing.
Poe Dameron got off to a great start, and then like a third in, he sort of disappears from the plot for a good chunk.
Yeah, but I think that the good thing about it is that you're gonna remember that early bit. I think that's a really good thing. You're gonna remember that early bit with him, and I think that's a great sign. And I expect to see real good things for him. Going forward with the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
And Kylo Ren, badass. I honestly really like him, and he's plenty intimidating, and I think that
the way he can use the Force will scare you.
Oh God, yeah. The opening sequence where you can see what he can do with the Force, your jaw's gonna hit the floor, I think.
Max von Sydow's character is wasted in this,
unfortunately. But I don't think that they were. I honestly don't think that they were expecting him to do too much, unfortunately. But yeah, you live and you learn. What can you say?
Phasma.
Again, a great designed character and a really nice voice. Unfortunately, not as utilized
as we
were hoping that it was going to be. But that's not necessarily a fault of the movie. I think that's. I'm hoping that this is not the last we've seen of Captain Phasma. That she'll make an appearance in episode 8.
It's pretty ambiguous.
It's ambiguous, but you know what? We're not. You know what? There was nothing definitive said. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so those are our first impressions.
We'll watch it a few more times, and then we'll give a little more detail after we kind of let people get a good chance to see it. We'll probably wait to do a kind of like in-depth talk about it probably sometime in January after most of the people have had a chance to see it.
Probably. So until next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, and enjoy yourself. This is a great time.